All right, all right, all right. Who's excited? Welcome to this week's Mollie Sommer Show. I am so excited for you to be here this week. This week, we are talking about how to magnetize you to money and opening up your divine birthright of abundance. I'm so excited. I love this topic. This week I'm sharing with you my 3 favorite key codes to magnetizing money and how I came to really the understanding that I have now and what I've moved through in order to get here. So buckle up. This one's going to be fun. Bring your hands and feet inside the car and get ready for this ride. Are you ready to magnetize yourself to abundance and money? Are you ready to attract new and unexpected ways of receiving money, gifts, and all the amazing things that you are manifesting? Stay tuned until the end of this episode, and I'm going to share with you not only these 3 magnetizing money key codes, but 7 more codes so that you can unlock and start cultivating this energy, this mindset, and these beliefs within yourself so that you can create an amazing life full of abundance and joy and prosperity. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so excited for you to be here. I'm so jazzed up today. Oh man. Oh, I've got so many amazing things happening and changing every day. And really, I have come into this new time for myself. And, if you are listening to this too, this is your time too, my friend. There has been a shift. We are done with the karma cycle. We are moving into dharma. My friend, it is just going to get better and better and better. At the beginning of this year, I had a vision and my higher self said to me, dharma and direction. Dharma and direction. And so I knew, I'm getting goosebumps. I knew that this year was going to align me with my higher truth. And man, what a year it has been. I have manifested the most amazing gifts, the most amazing experience, the most amazing people and teachers and students to come into my life, collaborators, new loves, new travel opportunities, new ideas. Oh man, I thought I had a lot of ideas before. I have so many ideas and creative flow coming through. For example, right behind me here, I created this book 2 weeks ago in 8 hours. This idea came through me in the morning. I was actually going to do a podcast that day and it was so loud. It was so strong that I couldn't concentrate on anything else. So I started creating this book. And this book, it's a manifesting journal. And within the journal, it shares with you some of my favorite exercises that I've used over the last year to really dream, to expand, and to manifest what I want into reality. And so if you want to get this book, you can head over to amazon.com, .ca, all of them. Look up my name, search up Mollie Sommer or the Manifesting Journal, and this little baby is magic. Everything you write down in that book, in this book, is going to come into your reality. Oh, I'm so excited. It works. I have done this for years, and it's time to share it with you. So my beautiful friend, head over there right after this podcast, right after you're done listening to these magnetic codes, because these are good ones for you. Okay. If you want to attract more money, you have to expand your capacity to receive. If you want more time, you have to learn that time is an illusion, my friend. Time is what you create it. You can take a year to manifest. You can take 5 years to manifest, or you can throw the concept of time out the window and collapse time and create in this moment the results that you are looking for. If you want more freedom, you have to be willing to surrender. And that is not giving up. That is surrendering. That is surrendering. And maybe actually before we even get into the codes today, I'm going to share with you a story of my experience learning how to surrender and how my guides taught me this incredibly beautiful gift in such an incredibly powerful and inspirational way. And so this story happened to me 2 years ago now, when I was in Puerto Vallarta. I was there with a friend of mine, and we decided to go for this hike to look for a beach that was off the beaten trail. And so we hiked up over this mountain, and we hiked down this cliffside to get to this little cove. And oh my goodness, it was absolutely breathtaking. It was away from the city. The water was just aqua-colored. The waves were these rolling waves, and they gently crashed on this beautiful white sandy beach. And it was just like this beautiful little alcove of a beach. And of course, once we got there, we had to go swimming, of course, because that's what you do, right? In the beautiful Mexican water. It was so warm, at least for a Canadian, right? I met so many people down there that were like, oh, it's so cold. But for a Canadian, that was like getting in a bath. So he jumped in the water. He was like out there swimming, having a grand old time. I hadn't been in the ocean since I had been in the ocean the last time, which was in Costa Rica. And in that day in Costa Rica, I had been caught in a riptide. Oh, it was so scary. It was a bay exactly like the one I was in. And I was out swimming with some girlfriends, and I tried to get back to the beach. And I tell you, my friend, there was no getting back to the beach. That water was going faster outward than I could swim forward. And I am a strong swimmer. I grew up in the lakes around the interior of British Columbia. I can swim. But that day, it was not happening. And so that day, I was terrified, and I knew how to get out of a riptide. It wasn't swimming through it. It was just surrendering to the riptide. And actually, now that I'm telling you this story, I think Divine was trying to tell me something then too. But I was not ready to hear it because I was in my trigger. I was in that activated place in my body. I was absolutely terrified. Anyways, I finally got out of the water. And while in Mexico at this new beach, standing there on the water, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to get in the water. I don't want to get caught in a riptide again. I think I'm just going to wade in this little pool right here and just splash and just enjoy myself, right? Meanwhile, my friend is out further. He's out past the break. He's out there. He's swimming back and forth, having a grand old time. And he's waving at me, and he says, come out, come out. You're going to love this, he says. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm good. I think I'm okay right here. But my inner guide said, don't let the fear of the past stop you from experiencing the joy of today. Man, my inner guides, they are so wise. And so I said to them, okay, fine. A little bit of resistance happening, but I trust them because I've cultivated that trust with them. I have cultivated that relationship with them. And I always know that they've got my back. And so I went out into the water. I swam over the break. I went out to where I could no longer see the ground, could no longer see the bottom, and it was dark. And fear was starting to rise up in me. My heart was beating so fast. My body was like, I was having a hard time breathing. I was having a hard time treading water. All of those flashbacks were coming back. And my inner guide said, we've got you. Surrender. Let yourself float and trust the buoyancy of the water. I thought to myself, oh man, this is asking a lot. This is asking, I don't know, more than I was willing to give today. I thought I was just coming to a beach to enjoy myself. Oh, okay. I'm going to learn this lesson. Okay. So I lifted my heart, and I can feel this, you guys. I can feel the buoyancy of the water as I'm telling you this story again. I lifted my heart and my inner guidance and source. I'm going to go straight to source because source is behind everything. Source says to me, trust the buoyancy of the water, Mollie, and received the gift that is and receive the gift that is below the surface. I took a deep breath. I said, okay, I can do this. I can do scary things. I can do terrifying things. Took a deep breath. I lifted my heart and I put my ears below the surface of the water. And I let the buoyancy of the ocean lift my hips, and I opened my arms and I opened my heart even further. And I took a deep breath and I relaxed and I surrendered. And my friend, it's going to make me emotional because it was so beautiful. Underneath the water were songs of the whales that were swimming in the bay at the time. And instantly, I was just flooded with this incredible energy and emotion of gratitude and love. And Source said to me, when you are willing to let go, when you are willing to surrender to the buoyancy of the universe, you are able to receive the gift that is there beneath the surface. Oh. And there is always, always, always a gift. Always. When you are willing to let go. And that, my friend, is one of my favorite keys to magnetizing money. Because what stops us from manifesting the abundance, the tangible in my hand dollar, is our need to control. In that control, we aren't open to receive new and unexpected flows of income. In that attachment to what is unfolding, we don't let in the magic that is the universe. The universe always, 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 always wants to give us the most enjoyable path that is meant for us. And when we're holding on so tightly, look at my body, I'm squeezing my body. That's not open. That's closed. That's restricted. It doesn't feel good. We have to be willing to surrender, to let the universe show us the way, take us, lead us, co-create with the universe. And when you can not only conceptualize this, when your mind can not only rationalize it, but you embody it in your bones, in your knowing, that is when everything changes. That is when there is no time. Because time doesn't exist with source energy. Do you think source? Here's a little image going through my head right now. Can you imagine God waking up in the morning and clocking in? No, that doesn't happen. Source energy is always activated. Source energy is always creating. It literally has created everything in the universe, in your life, in your awareness, from this pen to my hair, to the lights, to the house, all of it is source energy manifested into reality. So that's key code number one that when I am struggling, I have that memory, I have that gift, and I remember to let go and just float, enjoy it. Okay, so this brings me to key code number 2, which is one of my favorites, and I'm going to share with you another story. Key code number 2 is letting source resonate through you. Okay? Remembering that you are not separate from source. I'm going to tell you a little story here that I just received actually not that long ago that made such a difference in how I perceive this. One of the biggest illusions that we have as humans is that we are separate from our divinity. And this, I'm not going to get into all of this, but this has been programmed into us for millennia through religion, through oppression, through the idea that there is a heaven and hell. We are living when we are aligned and letting source through us, manifest through us, we are living in heaven because we are the creator, because there is no separation. And so I want you to think of the sun, okay? I want you to think of the sun rising over the eastern horizon. And if you were standing in, let's say, a field, and the sun was rising over the eastern horizon, you would have a shadow, right? You would be able to see the result of the sun being on the eastern horizon. It's the shadow, right? But what happens when that sun comes up and is directly above you? What happens to your shadow? Where does it go? Right? It's below you, but you can't see it because it's directly underneath of you. Okay? So the idea, the concept of separation is based on perception, right? If you see it on the horizon, it's over there. If it's up here, it's underneath of you. Depending on how you look at it, you're going to see a different result. Now, I want to take it one step further. What happens when that sun is no longer above you, but comes down into you and shines through you? There is no separation. That is divine energy. Divine energy is always flowing, is always turned on. And when you allow it to flow through you and create, Source wants to create an impact. Source wants to change the world. Source wants to create more love, more possibilities, more achievement, more expansion, more success, more growth, all of that. And when you allow it to resonate through you, it resonates through your unique expression of it, which means that you are uniquely creating in the world. That becomes your brand, that becomes your message, that becomes the way you attract, that becomes your magnetism. Whether you're writing, whether you're speaking, whether you're drawing or sculpting, every single one of us is an artist looking for the medium that works for them. Your skills, your gifts, those are unique to you. Just like Leonardo da Vinci was a sculptor, he let that divine source flow through him and he sculpted the images out of the stone that were already there because he knew that whether or not that energy was flowing through him or the stone, it was all one. When you fully understand this, when you embody this, oh man, you feel it, you expand to it, and you become magnetized in return. All right, number 3. And this one is going to be, I think, one of the more difficult to facilitate for yourself, because this one is everywhere. And so I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to share with you a story. Number 3 in the magnetic money key codes is removing yourself from the matrix. The matrix is the quote unquote machine. This is our TV, our social media, our programmed beliefs, the education system, the religious system, all of those things that have influenced you throughout your life, that have created the personality that you show up and experience the world in. Now, when I was a little girl, one of my most vivid memories is having this tree in my backyard. And I used to climb that tree. And in my mind, and in my perception at the time, that tree was huge. Okay? It was massive. But I loved it because it had thick branches at the top, and each branch seemed to be perfectly placed so that I could climb it. But then I got to one spot where I could no longer climb anymore because there was this tiny little branch and it couldn't hold me, and I actually broke it off. Don't tell my parents. And so I couldn't climb any further. So I would just sit there. I would sit there and I would talk to the tree. I would talk to the birds. I would talk to the clouds. I would just talk to spirit. I would talk to the creative flow and the images that were in my mind. I wasn't a part of the matrix yet. I don't even think I was in kindergarten or preschool yet. I remember being who I am truly in those moments, being connected to the magic that was around me, being purely curious and innocent and just in awe of the world. Even though at that time my world was only my tiny little backyard, I was in awe with it. I was in love with the grass and the birds and the bugs and the dirt, all of it. I loved it. I was experiencing all of it. I was kind and loving. I was confident. Right? That is who I was born into this world to be. And then I went into the first bit of the matrix, the school system. And over time, I was programmed to believe I was something else than that. I was bullied for 7 years by kids in my school. I was ostracized. I was made fun of. I was told that I was ugly. I was told that I was stupid, that I was a monkey. Right? I started believing those things. By the time I got to high school, I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm not smart enough to do anything. I would go to my counselors and they would look at me and they're like, hey, I don't know what you're going to do. You can do this, you can do that. I don't know what you're going to do. Whereas my friends were like, oh yeah, this is your personality. Here's the path for you. I didn't get a path. So I thought I didn't have a path. I started to believe that I didn't have a path. And so I began to wander. Right? I began to listen to the marketing propaganda that I wasn't pretty, that I had to be a certain way, skinny, I had to be fit, I couldn't eat, right? All of those things. And so I started hating the body that I was born into because it wasn't the way I saw beauty was on the television, right? Then I began dating, and the boys started treating me like a object for their pleasure. I remember one boy in high school, in junior high, he cornered me in between the bathroom and our classroom, and he rubbed himself up and down my body. I was like 15 years old. And he was telling me how beautiful I was and how much he turned me on. And then he wanted to take me into the bathroom and fuck me right there. Whoops, pardon me. And I was disgusted. And I pushed him away. And I remember saying no. But that was the beginning of a program. And over time, I came to a place where lots of men did that to me because I allowed it, because I thought that's all I was good for. And so we move through the matrix and we assimilate. We take on what other people tell us as truth until the day we say no more. And we start becoming the creator of our own life, of our own beliefs, of our own perceptions, and we start taking our power back. I have done the healing. I have gone into my womb, into my heart, into my body, and I have asked for forgiveness, and I have forgiven, and I have cut all of that energy back like thorns around the beautiful freaking castle, goddess vessel that this body, that this soul, that this heart is. And I have regained my power. And I know its sanctity. I know its sacredness. And I watch now. I watch for people who are worthy of entering this place. And it is in the making of the conscious choices, my conscious beliefs, knowing of my value, knowing of my worth, knowing of my gifts, that I am able to step up and share it with the voice that I have healed, that I have empowered through opening and expanding the vessel and the container for the energy of source to flow through. And that is the power of magnetism. Because in that magnetism, there is so much ease and flow, because there is no resistance. There is sharing, there is love, there is connection, there is collaboration, there is partnership, there is divinity, my friend. Ooh, and it feels good. It feels good to be in this body. It feels good to be in this life. It feels good to be creating every single day in my power, in my gifts, in my pleasure, in my joy, in my excitement. Oh, Lord, it feels good. And now that is why I'm here sharing with you time and time again, day in and day out, because you are worthy. You are capable. You are no different from me. You are a vessel to express divine energy. The experiences, the wounding, those thorns, they have cut you. I am not saying they haven't. You cannot make it through life. You cannot make it through the matrix without being cut, without being bruised, without losing blood. But you can let those wounds bleed your life force. You can slap band-aids on them and ignore them, or you can remember who you are and embrace those wounds, embrace those parts of you with love, and know that every single one of those wounds is like a crack in a crystal, a crack in a mirror, a crack in the humidity of after a storm. And what happens when light shines through those cracks, my friends? You create a rainbow. You create your unique rainbow. And what's at the end of the rainbow, my friend? Oh, here's another analogy that's just coming through right now. What? Here is the pot of gold that you have been looking for. It is not seeking a rainbow and finding it from the top down. It is creating your own rainbow and expressing it into the world. The pot of gold is always, 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 always at the other side. So my beautiful friends, that is, I'm not even going to say them. I'm not even going to say they're my favorite because I love all of these. I live all of these every single day, and they have changed my life. And they're not a revelation. They weren't a revelation for me. They were a remembering, because your soul knows this. It is an unlearning of the matrix and a remembering of the truth of who you are, the truth of your power, the truth of your purpose. And that is how you move into the ease and the flow, the creation that we are all capable of, that we are all meant to be. And so if you want the other 7 codes, my friends, I'm going to put the link in the show notes today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast. The link to the show notes, there will be a link there, and you can get the other 7 codes and start implementing these in your life. Start really reflecting on these in your life. And notice the resistance. Notice the resistance, because that is showing you where those wounds are. That is showing you where the light can shine through. As always, my beautiful friends, I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment, please link, please share on social media if you like this. I would love to have you tag me in an Instagram story, share this podcast with your friends and your community so that we can bring more people in, so that other people can learn these things and use these things in their lives. And when we share, we create more. It ripples. As always, I love you. You're amazing. You're a gift to this earth. And I'm so excited to see what you can create through you. From this moment forward, it's done. Thank you for being here. We'll see you guys next time. All right, my friend, are you tired of being stuck in the same old patterns? I can relate. I was there. For years, I was there. But I felt, and I know you feel this too, you feel it deep down inside of you that you have the potential to achieve great things. But you're lacking guidance. You're cycling in these moments or times of overwhelm, maybe daily or weekly, You're feeling that uncertainty for your desires, and you're ready for the breakthrough that will create freedom, that will create fulfillment, and ultimately will create the business and the life of your dreams. Right now, I have got one more spot for a one-on-one coaching, custom coaching manifestation. This spot is highly transformational. This spot is highly valuable, and I want to offer it to you. And so if you're ready, hit up the link below and apply. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what it is that you want, and let's see if we can work together to create the dreams that you desire. I can't wait to see you, and let's make magic, my friend. We'll talk to you later.